Hello there! I found myself in a bit of a predicament today. This weekend, my husband and I are going to the Mothman festival, but I don't have anything cool to wear. I mean, I do have this shirt, which I do dearly love. It's kind of hard for you to see, but we're gonna be there like 3 days, and this is just one shirt. I can't wear it every day. So I decided I don't really have extra money to buy some new cool shirts. So I'll have to be a little creative. So I got some supplies. I grabbed an old t-shirt for me. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this light, but there are stains on the fabric, which is why I stopped wearing it. There's a stain here. I think there's some paint here. So got a shirt for me. Now I need a shirt for my husband, right? Don't worry, I got this. He has this shirt. My husband is quite a bit bigger than me. I'm very, very small. So he's got a shirt also with spots on it that we haven't been able to get out. But I need to make a Mothman, right? For that, I needed a few extra supplies. I needed some cardboard and a pencil. And with that, I drew a Mothman. Now I need to make my Mothman appliques. And for that, I need some fabric and some interfacing. So what I found was this fusible interfacing I had in the basement and these black stretch pants that are kind of worn out and they have a hole somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. And one final thing, scissors. So in this video, you're gonna notice that the lighting's not gonna be so great because I'm doing it in my house and I'm gonna be doing it throughout the evening. But the end result should be an amazing Mothman shirt. We'll need some red thread, a sewing machine, some black thread, and that's all, I think. And shoot me a comment letting me know if you have ever done a project like this. I would love to chat about it. Now, let's get started. All right, so the first thing I needed for this process was a template. Well, it's not like you can go find a stencil at your regular store for the Mothman. So I sat down and I tried to draw him. Now, this is a little complicated because if you listen to the descriptions from people that have cited the Mothman, they report that he has a 10-foot wingspan and glowing red eyes. Not a lot else. And really, if you followed that description, you would have Batman, not Mothman. But he's called the Mothman. So what I did, hopefully you can see him, I drew the body of a man. They said it's the body of a man. I guess that was important too. And the glowing red eyes that we'll put on with red thread and our wingspan. Now, I made these wings to look more, I made them this shape because he's the Mothman, right? And moths have wings that are a little taller and a little narrower. Not this narrow, probably. And I made the jagged edges because he's this feared and also kind of loved creature. And I felt like jagged kind of tracked with his brand. So the first thing we would normally do is cut this out. And I'm going to, but if you look, I got him a little closer to the center than he should have been. So I'm debating if I want to put him onto another piece of cardboard and just draw the rest of his leg and the rest of his head, or if I just want to do that when I go to actually make the patches. We'll see. But for right now, time to cut out the Mothman. We're using the pinkish red scissors, not the silver or the gray, because the gray are my fabric scissors. So if you see me picking these up to cut anything paper, your job is to scream. I'm sure I'll hear it through the nether. Oh, that was pretty easy to cut out, so I think I'm going to go ahead and trace him onto another piece of cardboard fix the issues that I had so that his head is the right size. So we're gonna do that on this sheet. Let me move you down. There we go. Ooh, gotta make sure we leave room for the wings. I may have made it too big this time, but that's okay. We can always cut it down. That's pretty easy. All right. There we are. I think he looks a little better. I wanted him still to be kind of a silhouette. I didn't want him to be detailed, but... All right, so we're gonna cut this out. I reached for the good scissors. Whew. That was close. And we have our Mothman. Woot woot! And did I cut? Oh, I didn't cut the rest of the leg out. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, Mothman. So now we're going to use the interfacing, the double-sided interfacing. And what? Oh, I forgot to cut out the bottom of his wings, the little jagged parts. Oh, started to use the scissors. You screamed, right? I'm sure I heard you. Okay. Now what we're going to do is trace our little dude. And we're going to flip him over. Trace him on the other side. His head's a little fat, but overall, I think he is perfect. So we're going to cut him out, but first I'm going to draw another one because I'm making two of these. One for my husband, one for me. Oh, and actually, there's a little bit of that. Oh. Yeah. A little bit of it didn't show up. So now we're going to make number 2. Now, we know that we didn't like quite how fat the head was, so we'll adjust this one accordingly. All right. Yeah, his head's still fat, but not quite as fat. I think what I'm gonna do is just correct that in a little on each side. Ah, that looks better. Perfect. Yeah. I like how each of them will be just a smidge different. So we're going to cut these out. The backing on this is paper, so we'll use the paper scissors. I feel like you could make an argument either way for which scissors you would use, but now I'll keep the excess because I do a lot of things with applique, and this is totally big enough to make some things out of. All right, now we're going to plug in our iron. Grab our scrap fabric. We're going to put the Mothman on and we'll be back. Since the filming of the first part of this video, I realized that the stretch pants that I was going to use to make the patches, I can't use that. Those aren't my old stretch pants that have a hole. Those are my friend Camille's stretch pants that she left at my house like 2 years ago, and I'm not cutting them up to make a patch. So my husband had this pair of old black jeans. I'm gonna avoid the parts that are worn out and use this fabric. And the inside of the legs is less faded, so we're gonna use the inside as the part that's gonna show. So we're going to take our Mothman, put the shiny side onto the side of the fabric that we don't want to show, and just iron him on. And we have a Mothman. Now I cut the other one out while I had the camera off. So we're gonna put him on there too. And we're gonna cut these out. I just realized that I could make these into some really cool Christmas ornaments. Anyone want a Mothman Christmas ornament? Let me know. All right. Much less fabric to work with now. So, we'll make all our little jagged edges. Sweet. Oh, son of a bitch. Hopefully you don't mind cussing. There will be swears on this channel. So the gray scissors are really good for the big stretches, but for the detail work, I think these may actually be the better choice. Let's see though. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I'll try this one on the bigger stretches. No, really, these are just the best overall. There we go, we have a Mothman. So, now we take off this paper. I guess I should explain that yesterday I was working with burnweed and it colored my hands so bad. I've scrubbed, I'm gonna have to like really try and, I don't know, file off my skin or something to get it off tonight. Otherwise I'm gonna be going to the Mothman Festival with a literal green thumb. That would be awkward. I'd make it work, but awkward. Gonna have to paint my nails too because it got under and between the layers of my nails. Now we've got our little Mothman. So there's 2 points in time in this that we could take our little Mothman and we could add his eyes. First I'm going to adjust this just a smidge. There we go. Just wanted to make his head a tiny bit rounder. Anyway, we could do his eyes now, or we could do it once he is actually on the fabric. And I think I'm going to try it this time and do it on, once it's sewed on the fabric. This interfacing, until it's sewed on, it's really kind of heavy and it's a little hard to get your needle through. So it may actually be easier to wait until it's on the fabric. So let's get a shirt. This is my husband's shirt. We're going to iron it. In the area we're going to put the our little mothy on. And as you can see, my husband has some stains on it. So I'm not actually putting this centered at all on his shirt. I'm going to put it over here, and then there's room for other things. I thought about making like a light here, and Mothman attracted to it. Oh, actually, hell yeah. All right, we're just gonna iron him on. There, look at our little mothy. And then we'll sew and zigzag around all these edges just to keep it on. Yes, the interfacing does stick it, but the edges will ravel and it may come off with time if you don't zigzag it or do some embroidery stitches around it. We're kind of short on time, so I'm going to do the sewing machine method on his. But first I'm going to put his little eyes on. So we need thread. Now, I'm going to show you a trick that my mom showed me. It's probably not even classified as a trick. I'm sure everybody knows this, or at least experienced sewers do, but I could be wrong. Okay, we're gonna thread our needle. No, I do not use a needle threader. Yes, I am trying to be careful that I don't burn myself on the iron again. There we go. Now, what my mom always did is she always sewed with at least 2 layers of thread together. So she'd knot the end, do that. That way it's a little stronger. And also, if you're making a design, it doesn't have to go on as thickly. You don't have to go over it as many times to make the designs. That's what I mean. Okay, so we'll do one more knot, one more layer of knot, and we're gonna put that through the fabric, trying to come up where his little eye would be. Oh, perfect. Oh, no, just a smidge over. Ooh, it's still really, the interfacing is still really hard to go through. So next time I'll just do it before I sew it on. Anyway, I'm just making a basic star pattern for his eyes. And now Muffy has his glowing red eye. Could have made it a little bigger, I suppose, and I probably will in round 2, but anyway, we're just gonna make a few stitches to tie this off on the bottom. Again, as my mommy taught me to do. Just going through the fabric you already sewed a couple of times. If I can get it, come on. There we go. And one last round. Okay, eye number 1 is done. So I'm going to go do this to shirt number 2, and I'm going to finish his second eye, and then I will be back. Now I'm in my sewing room. Whoa. Now I'm in my sewing room, and we're ready to sew these on so that they don't come off in the wash. Now, I was going to show you on my husband's shirt, which, where is his shirt? Oh, I was going to show you on his, but it's black on dark blue. I figured that might be a little hard to see. So instead I'm going to show you on my shirt, because mine, there's a little bit more contrast. So I've got my bobbin in, my black thread in, and I'm just going to sew in a zigzag pattern around the Mothman. You can start at any point, you can stop at any point. Now normally I would backstitch, but this time I'm going to be going over it at the end, so it's fine. We're going to go slow so we can make sure it stays on track. Now, at the corners, it's going to be a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually adjust it, because it's going to go in that same corner hole several times. That way it doesn't fray in the corners. All right, we'll turn it a little more. Do one more stitch. And now we'll be able to adjust our Mothman right back the way he was. Yay! We'll turn again. Lots of turning on this one. Now, there is a way that you can do this with an embroidery stitch. Let me show you. So there are some embroidery stitches that you can do for edging that might be really good for this if you didn't want to do the machine style. Also, my cat is here asking what we're doing. Hi, Flea. You going to say hi to the public? She does not want to say hi to the public. She wants someone to give her her brother's food, I think. Nope, you already ate Bubby's food. Flea is supervising me. My husband is actually home for the filming of this video.
So.
And that's probably why the cat's extra friendly, because she is a daddy's girl. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Not mommy, mommy, mommy. So anyway, you can see the basics of how I'm doing this. I will come back to show you the finished result. And here is what our little Mothman shirt looks like. It's a little dark in here, but this is what he looks like done. Unfortunately, you can see I got some stains on the shirt when I wore it to the Mothman festival, but my little Mothman survived. And here you can see some pictures of me wearing it with my tiny mopey bat and even by myself. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And as always, see you next time and eat something wild or applique something wild onto your t-shirt. Why not?